You're looking at Los Alamitos Yacht Club, and this is the USA Sup National Championship distance race back in November. Yeah, that's right. We're late getting to it. More to come on that. It was an amazing event. Here you're getting a look at the female sprint finals. That's Seychelles and Katniss at the front of the pack, and Seychelles edged her out for an amazing race. Now you're looking at the overhead of the men's Tech Open final start. And this was an amazing race, but not without some drama, and we're going to focus on this because there's a question about rules that I think we as a sport need to solve.
Oh, Dave Baney got a great start. So did Danny.
Oh, beautiful.
Just amazing glide right there, right up to his feet. Those two.
So you're looking at the actual coverage from our event the day of. This was me and Harrison Withers calling the open race, and you're seeing the exact screen that if you had logged into YouTube or Facebook or any of our streaming properties, you would have been able to watch this live, which was very cool. Our coverage was pretty good, I like to think. There was some interesting stuff in the end, and we're going to cover that. But let's jump into the racing here as we're watching it. You can see Danny Ching jumped way out in front, and there was no surprise there. Bodie von Allmen had already left to go to Thailand for the ICF championship, so Danny Ching was clearly going to be the class of the field on this day, but Dave Baney and Jake Graham were clearly going to be the second, third favorites, probably dueling each other, and that's exactly what happened. And you're looking at the second buoy turn here, and sure enough, it shaked out 1, 2, 3. Danny gapped the field very quickly and had a great run as he was clearly salting away victory. And Dave Baney had an incredibly impressive run as well. Put some mileage in early and gapped Jake, but Jake managed to make up some ground here on this turn. As you can see, Dave Baney went toe side, Jake went heel side. And now I'm going to cut it over to our live call of the race right after a slight dogleg right turn, and you can see what happens.
On the drone, so we get a view of that race for number 2. And this is going to be sporty. These guys are right next to each other. Jake is just on Dave Baney's tail, and this is going to be a pressure-filled final turn here.
We've got Paul putting a move.
Yeah, Paul is really hammering.
Dennis Gibson.
Yep, I mean, like I said, these guys are going to be racing for pride all the way through the ranks, so we're going to see some pretty great action.
So there you see Danny going from right to left. He's in the home stretch, and Harrison and I start really paying attention to him, keeping our eye on the race for second and third place. But critically, we don't see the drone footage from where we're seated. We're watching with our naked eyes, and so keep that in mind as you hear the call, and we're going to dive into some analysis at the end of the race.
Swinging back around, and here you see it. Danny's already on his way in.
Danny's on his way in.
Here comes the turn at number 2, and Alex has got a great shot of it on the drone. Jake swinging around right on Dave's tail. Dave hammering home. Jake's in a good spot, but Dave is laying it down. I think he still had some in the tank, and we're about to see if Dave Baney, 47-year-old Dave Baney, has it in him, because he has been racing really fast this year. It's been impressive to watch. Here comes Danny. What an amazing display of speed and technical skill. And there's your men's open champion. Coming across the line. Styling for some pictures. Nice job, Danny Ching, our men's open champion. And here comes the drag race for number 2. Jake Graham, Dave Baney. Look at this. Dave's sort of veering into Jake. Jake's standing up. He sees the contact coming. And these guys are going to have to lay it down. About 80 yards to go. And Jake is pinching Dave off, and this is rubbing his race, and that's some sport. Dave's digging deep. Jake coming with him. I think Dave's got it. Digging way deep. Jake tried to pinch him off. There's your 2 and 3, Dave Baney holding him off, and that was...
So there you see the call, pretty excited as you can imagine. Now watch this back again, though, and you can see from the drone what we really couldn't see well, which is the shallow water. And as these guys come out of the turn, you can see they're dealing with the shallow water. There's Jake in the starboard and Dave on a purple Infinity. And you can see the drone tracking now, and we're going to jump into this footage. And there you can see Dave veering out of the shallow water and beginning to angle Jake off. And we zoom in here, and you can see Jake contact on the rails. And, it's a little bit dicey there. But now watch this. Dave starts swinging over and looks over his shoulder, and let's take a look at that again. Nice little shot of Dave taking a peek, sees Jake, and starts veering over to block his path. Now, we can't see any of this. We're watching Danny finish the race, and Jake makes a really incredible run here and starts to close and catch up and is riding some of that wash. But Dave cuts over at a really acute angle, and Jake has to stand up just anticipating the contact, stays with it. But here you can see they're incredibly shallow water, and Jake later described that he was beginning to ground his paddle out. And you can actually see some debris coming up from the bottom there in a couple of these strokes. Incredibly close race, lots of rubbing, What does it all mean?